It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Today we are doing a resin video, which seems to be the most popular stuff on my channel. And I got a little project I'm working on, and we're going to do that today. Well, we're working on it. It's not quite the project. The project I'm actually doing is, surprise, it's a set of dentures. My dog got a hold of mine last week and took a big chunk out of it. I'll show you when I bring the camera down here how bad it is. And I went to the dentist, and they wanted to charge me an arm and a leg just to fix it. And I'll show you what needs fixed. And I'm like, no, my insurance wouldn't cover it. And I got to go get a whole new set anyway. I am wearing my old ones today. You know, no one wants to see me without my teeth. I know that. I've been told plenty of times in the comments. But anyway, today we're gonna, what I want to do is I'm working on the color. I've already made a couple pairs, and they come out way too white. They don't look right on me, and they're more for aesthetic, cosmetic for whenever I go out, because no one wants to see me with my teeth out. That's gross. But we're gonna show you here what we're doing and get started. So, like I said, I'm not working on the actual teeth today. Here's the plate and what happened. The dog took a bite out of it, and this piece here is being held on with a piece of, just like a piece of rubber that goes around my incisor. But and it fits perfect in there. So what I'm waiting for the proper cement to come into my shop so I can fix these myself. But in the meantime, I'm thinking I got nothing to lose, and I've always wanted to make some teeth for Halloween anyway. So I went ahead and I made a mold of this. But I made a couple of them. Here's one that I made. These are the ones that come out way too white. You can see the comparison. These are way too white. They don't look good in my face. Now, I have to say, I don't recommend this making your own dentures if you're not a dentist or a trained professional. I'm not a trained professional. I'm only making these to wear when I go out until I get back to the dentist to get my new teeth. It's the only reason I'm doing it. Maybe a few for Halloween next year. But other than that, I mean, I don't recommend this. Go see your dentist and get it taken care of the right way. But anyway, what we're doing today is I want to get the color right for the teeth. And rather than use my mold that I have for the teeth, which I'll show you that at a later date once we get the color right, I have a two-part mold here, something I need to make today for one of my customers. And if you want to learn how to make a two-part mold, you see how it opens up like that. If you want to learn how to make a two-part mold, I did do a video earlier on my channel, how to make a two-part mold. It's the same thing. This is a different product, but it's the same thing. So what I want to do today is get the color right. This particular item, when it's done, I'm going to paint it, so I don't care what color it comes out. If I make a mistake, that's okay. I didn't waste anything. So what do you use to make the color in resin? Now, today we're using white resin, which takes about 10 minutes to dry. Cursor's into my face. All right, it takes about 10 minutes for white resin to dry. Oh, that's not right. Let's move this up here. You don't need to see what time it is. There we go. Yeah, I'm very informal. So the white resin takes about 10 minutes to dry, and it's what I make this product out of. That's why I have the white molding compound. This is not my reusable molding compound. This is a permanent mold. With that said, how do we color it? Okay, there's a number of ways you can color white resin. In front of me, I have, well, let's start from the beginning. First, we have mica powder, which I've done a video on how to use the mica powder and white resin. It's not the best thing to use. It comes out lighter than whatever color you're trying to use because the white overpowers it. The second thing you can use is, I believe, and I haven't tried it yet, but I plan on trying it, an alcohol paint, not an acrylic paint. We did try the acrylic paint, and it had a reaction with the resin. It all bubbled up, and it's in one of my videos too, where it came out this gray, almost looked like concrete when it was done, which was actually a really neat effect if that's what you're going for. It was like porous, and it came out neat, but it's not what I need. The third way we're going to try today. I've never done this. This is actually an old makeup palette that my wife gave me. Don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's got a lot of browns in there. And, you know, I don't want to make the teeth completely white because it just doesn't look right. I got to add a little color to them. I do have two teeth up in here. I'm trying to match that color, which should be interesting. I already tried it before, and I haven't been able to do it with the mica powder. My wife suggested this. I'm like, all right, let's try it. So I'm going to try to pick a color a little darker than I want to go because I know the white resin is going to make it lighter. And you see I have already started digging in it. I don't know what to call this. It's makeup powder. I don't know anything about makeup, but this is the one we're going to use here. And I'm going to take some of this, if I can scoop it out with this. Ooh, I should have a better scoop. I'm trying to use a popsicle stick. It's not working so well. Let's see if we can use two things. I'm going to take a scoop. This will work. I'm going to take a scoop of this. I'm going to put it in my mixing cup. And my wife said that, or my daughter said, who's an artist too, she said if I use this, make sure I use more than I think I'm going to need. Because this isn't straight mica powder. It has mica powder in it, but it also has some fillers in it. So I'm going to take her advice. So I'm going to put in double what I would normally put in to get a color. And as you can see, it's in there. Can you see my cup? Yeah. So here's the cup. You see that's about how much I put in. I don't have an exact measurement on it. So now what I'm going to do is I already have my resin weighed out. I'm using the fast cast like I've been using for the past few months. I do like it. It's a little cheaper than aluminite, but honestly, I do like the aluminite best. But it's been so hard to find lately, so I've just been getting this. So I'm going to set this aside so we don't make a mess. Knowing me, I'll make a mess anyway. And I'm going to add my B side to my powder, which as you see, this is about a half of the cup they give you. I've been doing this by weight. I've been doing equal amounts of A and B by weight, and it has been working. But I wanted to make sure it was exact today because the mica powder, the more mica powder you put in there, or in this case, the more makeup you put in there, the more it breaks down your plastic a little bit. So I wanted to use exact measurements. So that's 15 milliliters if you're paying attention. It doesn't really matter. But now, since this is a 10-minute resin, it only has a 2-minute hot life once it's mixed. I'm only going to mix my color with the B side. I suppose you could mix it with the A side too. I just got in the habit of mixing it with the B side. And we're going to stir that like this. Let's see what color we got coming out. You can see it's a dark brown color. And I'm hoping that'll fade. I don't want to have dark brown teeth. It'll look like I ate something that I'm not going to mention on YouTube. But it rhymes with scoop, I'll tell you that. Okay, so that seems to be mixed in there pretty good. Now I'm going to add my A side. Try and get every drop out of there. Some people scrape these. Usually gravity takes it over whenever it's this thin. I know that white resin the clear resin gets pretty thick. Now I'm mixing it up, trying just to go in a circle. I have found with this white resin, I can stir it a little bit faster than the clear without worrying about bubbles. Mix, 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 mix. And I'm mixing this for about 30 seconds maybe. Till the swirls go away. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I get a lot of complaints on my cameras, but it's what I got. It's what I got. All right, so that looks about good. Everything looks mixed evenly. Now I'm going to pour it into my mold. And this is my fill hole. I know the white molds don't show up very good on camera, but here's my fill hole, and these are my vents. So I'm going to pour it into my fill hole. Sometimes I put a straw in this. I forgot to put a straw in it today. I'll tell you what, using colored resin, I could sure see it going in there better. Pour it in, you got to give it a couple taps to get the air to go out the vent holes. And it's just about done. But you can see it's coming up through some of the vent holes. Actually, I normally pour it as completely white because I spray paint it when I'm done. But doing it this way, I can see much better. Yeah, it is showing up on the camera. You can see it's coming up through all my vent holes. And I just need a little bit more in this guy. A couple taps. Make sure there's no air in there. This particular mold is heavy enough I don't have to tape it down or brace it. If it was a smaller mold, I would have to do so. So that's that. And I got a little resin left over. I'll put it in this guy here. I always keep a spare mold around to put some. So you can see I use pink. I got the gum color right. That's actually the gum color we're going to use when we do the denture plate. But I have leftover resin. I'm just going to pour it in here. They all mix together. And this is another item. When I'm done, I'm going to paint it. So I'd rather do that than waste it. And put that in the garbage. Now we're going to wait a few minutes. I'll fast forward to the demolding, and we'll see what color we got. Hopefully we get it on the first try, and I don't have to sit here all day. Be back soon. Okay, so I lied. I went up and had lunch. So it's been about 25 minutes maybe. But here's my little test resin here. I always touch this to make sure it's hard before I go cutting into the main piece. But I don't know. It seems a little dark, but let's cut this open and see. First, I'm going to see how these vents kind of overflowed. Now, so I don't ruin my mold, I want to get under there and cut that little mushroom off, I call it. That way when I pull this out, it'll come out straight. And this particular mold is just real quick. I use my little nippers, as Toy Polo would call it. And I just take those little pieces off down to where my mold will go straight out. And I got to cut around the head hole here too. You know what? Now that I'm touching this, even though it's been 25 minutes, this resin isn't quite cured enough. So what I'm going to do is I am going to finish removing this mushroom cap, so to speak. And I'm going to give it a few more minutes to dry, cure, I'm sorry, whatever term you want to use. If you've ever taken a mold out, taken a casting out of the mold too early, you can ruin it. And I don't feel like ruining it. But I can get a good look at the color here. That color is too dark. The color I'm going for is right here. And is it showing up on the camera? It doesn't. It looks different on the camera than it does in my hand. That is definitely too dark. So we're going to have another go at it with different color. It's like, yeah, it's too dark. I think I have the right idea, but I think I might have put too much makeup powder in there. The next one I'm going to do, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and I'll put it what it comes out. That way you don't have to sit through me doing all this again. I don't think the color's good. Not what I was going for. Like on the camera, it looks like it almost matches the gum part, but it doesn't. It's still got like a brown tint to it. Definitely doesn't match the teeth. I know that. Like I said, I don't want to walk around my teeth and looking like I just ate a turd. So that was the first try, though. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try it again until I get it right. I won't put that all in this video. I'll skip through as quick as I can. Yeah, let's go ahead and demold this. And then I'll go ahead and do the other one. I'll just show you the result of the other one without you having to sit through all this, because I wouldn't want to sit through all this, especially hearing me ramble. So our two-part mold, gently pulling it apart. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Pull out this vent here. Very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. Even carefuler. More careful. More careful. I broke it, but that's okay. That's past the actual casting. And then this part here comes out. Yeah, this is way too soft. I got ahead of myself. When you're using mica powder or this makeup stuff, I forgot to tell you that it takes longer to cure your resin. And I should have told you that, because I haven't used mica powder in white resin in a while. I forgot. I get this out of here, show you what I got. Hopefully I won't ruin my mold because that sucker's in there. I said sucker. This time. Ooh, yeah, this is a mess. Not gonna lie, this is a mess, but it will be fine. It is cured enough I can re-straighten it. I'm sure y'all don't even know what this is, but it's a little dinosaur guy for Star Wars. Needs trimmed big time. Got a lot of flash on the sides. Now, how I could have avoided the flash is put a weight on top of the mold, but as you can see, this comes right off. All right, enough playing around with this one. I'm going to go ahead and use a different color and see what the next one comes out like, and that's exactly where we're going to go, so I'm not going to make you sit through all that. So let's do number 2. Just going to quickly interject just a really quick snippet. This one's dry. It's the second one I've done, and just looking at it right now, here's the spare mold too. Looking at it right now, you can see this is the color I just poured. All I did was cut back on that powder a little bit, and I think we might have a winner. So I'm going to open it. We'll go to the next section here, and I'll show you. And here we go. The second casting is done. The second casting is done, and it came out pretty good. All I did was cut back on the powder I used. You can see the color I'm going for right here is compared. It's definitely not exactly the same. You can see the teeth are just a little bit darker, but it's not, and on the camera, once again, it's showing up the light and the dark, but it's not showing up the actual color. It's about as close as it's going to get. I think what I'll do is I'll just add just a little titch of yellow in there just to dull it down. And I think we're on the right track. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these guys and paint them, and I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. And that'll be the end of the video. The next video is going to be me actually trying to do the teeth. So hold on a second. So I went ahead, I trimmed them, finished them up, painted them, and I noticed something that I haven't noticed before. This was the darker of the two. It came out, is that on camera? Yeah. It come out this color here, the gray color. I need a pointer. This one was the one that was painted this color. Or I'm sorry, the resin came out this color. And when I painted it with the green spray paint that I used, it actually made it a different shade than this one, which was the lighter of the two. This was a lighter shade. I hadn't noticed it been doing that. It's just something interesting to think of if you're going to mess around with colors when you are testing them like I'm doing today. Both of these products are fine. I just was a little surprised that this one came out darker than this one. I figured the green spray paint would cover up whatever's under it. And it wasn't really that much darker. I mean, you see it was supposed to be a brown color, come out a gray color. And that's what this ended up being whenever it finally dried. But I'm just really surprised that the paint took hold like that. So I know I do a lot of mistakes, and I own my mistakes. Like I said, today was an experimentation thing. I also wanted to show you a better way a successful way to use a two-part mold, which that part was right. It takes a little playing around to find a color that you're needing, but this is a good way to experiment and use colors in your resins on something you know you're going to paint. So later down the road for other projects that you're not going to paint, you can get the color resin that you're hoping for. Like I said, I'm happy with the second color that came out, which was this color here. I'm going to go ahead and use that. In my next video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to put these teeth together. And we'll see you then. In the meantime, like down there, subscribe, share the video. We're trying to get more resin community people. Go ahead and subscribe. We hit 1,000 subscribers a while ago, and I'm very happy about that. I still need a new idea for a live video. These things seem to take a lot longer than I anticipate, so I don't know if it'd be a good idea for a live video or not. But let me know if you're interested, because that's the only way I'm going to know. All right, y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.